To start the new Strategic Plan wizard, click on the Strategic Plan tab in the Startup module and then click on the Add New Plan Wizard button. The wizard is flowchart driven so that you can see where you are and move around as required. Inside the wizard, at the top of the screen, are 7 flowchart buttons. Each displays different wizard screens. On the right there is a button which creates the new plan. Remember that all settings can be changed later in the Options or Vision Mission or Strategy Map modules, so you do not need to get it fully correct the first time. Hence the design of the Objectives and Initiatives grid is covered in more details in the Options module training video. The 7 wizard buttons are as follows. Strategic Plan Name. This allows you to set the name and address for your new strategic plan. Vision Mission Statements. Set the Vision Mission statement labels as well as the names of the other 6 pages. Define standard terms. Most of the concepts in this software can be renamed. However, you would only need to change them all if your language was not English. Strategy Map Perspectives. This enables you to set the initial perspective names and which Vision Mission rows are displayed at the top of the strategy map. Objective Grid Columns. Here you can define the Objectives grid, which is the cascade destination for the strategy map objectives. Personal responsibility and measurement columns can be defined alongside the objectives. Typically you would create list-based columns called KPI, Measure and Score. Other special purpose columns can be added at a later time. To add a column, select it using the checkbox, which adds it to the grid. Click on the grid cell to rename the column and position it left or right using the arrow buttons. You will notice that there are both list-based and free text columns available. We recommend that you mostly use list-based columns as they can be all cross-referenced in the Drill Down Dashboard module. Use free text columns for external document links or when the text is not commonly repeated. A numeric gauge column can also be defined. The actual values of these is often set from the average of the gauges in the Initiatives grid. Initiative grid columns. For every row of the Objectives grid there can be multiple initiatives, with the actual initiative text being normally defined as a free text column because it is rarely repeated. The columns available for selection are similar, plus there are additional columns available, with the most notable being the date range. Budget columns can also be defined. Some users also like to add a list-based cost code column that can be cross-referenced. A gauge column can also be created, which can be averaged into the Objectives grid value. Monthly grid usage. If you have defined a date range column in the Initiatives grid, then there are 2 monthly grids that can be used. These are the Gantt-style progress grid as well as a numeric finance grid. These grids have to be set up using the Options module, and the screen here only explains how these grids are able to be used. This includes the ability to show monthly row totals as cells back in the Initiatives grid. Create Strategic Plan. When you have completed the process, click on this button to create the new strategic plan. A log file is created, and you can write verbose log entries if you want. The log file can also be exported to Excel if required. The strategic plan creation is performed in 2 stages. Firstly, a copy of the model strategic plan is created. Then the wizard settings are applied to this new plan. It is possible to open and edit the model strategic plan, and you may wish to do this if your native language is not English. In summary, the new Strategic Plan wizard provides an easy, fast and centralized place to create your new strategic plan. Remember that you do not need to get it right first time, as you can easily make changes at a later date. If your language is English, you may simply wish to accept the defaults and make all required changes later using the Options module. Thank you for watching this video demonstration.